How's it going, you sexy beasts? Sorry about the delay for this week's episode. There was a big ass smashing of the servers going on, in which I had to help represent and protect my home turf of Waterson. And hell yeah, we won. Anyway, happy freaking Friday, everyone. I hope you've all had a tremendously awesome week and have an even more so awesome weekend ahead of you. As per the usual Fridays, it's time for another fan-picked Friday challenge. This is the series where you and your knee-high rainbow socks with the individual toes of comfortality can suggest a loadout for me to run within game and see just how terribly my frame rate dies to hell and back. Last week's episode was the 13-year-old Hunger Games fanatic loadout by the Alienation, which featured the Hunter QCX crossbow and plenty of terrible Hunger Games puns. Or references. I don't know. If you've got a sweet ass idea for a loadout for me to run with the next week's episode, go ahead and post a comment in the section below, and I'll pick one of the most top voted comments to use in next week's fan-picked Friday challenge. This loadout in particular was a breath of fresh air instead of some crazy ass detect bolt only challenge that is designed to be nigh impossible. Jalamazzz decided to throw me a bone with the Guile BMF all aim no brain loadout. Faction, Vanu Sovereignty. Primary, SVA-88 with 1x reflex, forward grip, compensator, and high velocity ammo. Secondary, NS-44 Commissioner with a laser sight. Tool, Decimator. Suit, Nanoweave armor, grenade, anti-vehicle, shield, adrenaline, implant, enhanced targeting, and the description reads Guile BMF is one of the biggest farmers and best infantry players. His MLG loadout would give you a lot of kills and nice moments. Have fun. Thank you so very much for your challenge, Jalamazzz, and I've got to thank you for also suggesting the SVA-88. This is one of my favorite Vanu Sovereignty Light Machine Guns, almost tied with the Orion LMG. I think the Orion's slightly below. I had quite a few moments of super slick pro MLG YOLO swag status with the SVA-88. Either that or my enemies were just all unaware of where I was. I'm just going to assume I'm just super awesome at the game. Oh yeah, that one. Near the end of my recording session, I had a kill-death ratio ranging between 4.8 to 5.2. It was kinda hard to tell since I had to swap between characters a few times in order to find an infantry fight worthwhile. On top of that, I had plenty of occasions where my team was full of spawn room heroes, and we were getting farmed by endless amounts of tanks. I have to admit, ever since the Liberator nerfs yesterday, tanks have been running rampant as far as the eye can see. But what makes the SVA-88 so special? Well, consider it a more adaptable Orion, to where it has that average bullet damage of 143 per shot up to 10 meters, and falls off to 125 damage minimum at 65 meters. It has a very potent rate of fire of 698 rounds per minute, which is just shy of the Orion 750. It has a 75 round magazine, 225 in the reserve, short reload speed of 3.38 seconds, and a long reload speed of 4.7. Whoa! A short reload speed is quite competitive, but that long reload speed will more than likely get you killed while in a firefight. Horizontal recoil is quite manageable, especially with our forward grip. Vertical recoil is 0.44 degrees per shot, which is tied at the highest recoil per shot for any Vanu LMG, that being tied with the flare. But the key strength of the SVA-88 brings to the table is its juicy movement speed while aiming down sights. Most weapons typically cut your speed in half while aiming down sights, whereas the SVA-88 only reduces it by a fourth, making you much more maneuverable while ADSing. So you can just dance around your enemies and dodge bullets like Neo from the Matrix. Also, toss in the 630 meter per second bullet velocity and you've got a very solid weapon on your hands. MLGing it up on the battlefield was pretty enjoyable. I had some moments where I would just get utterly destroyed from the booty, or one shot by a tank, or just steamrolled by a max. But once those moments were out of the way and I was able to find a very good position, I would go on crazy killing sprees of 20 people or so. Oddly enough, even with the compensator in my weapon, people seemed to just ignore me, even though I'd hose down as many enemies as I could as close to their front lines as possible. Having that increased move speed while aiming down sights is just invaluable and is something I truly miss out while playing as the New Conglomerate or the Terran Republic. Regardless, that very hefty magazine size, fire rate, and just overall badassery of the SVA-88 was able to carry me to victory in far too many scenarios than I'm willing to admit. Side-strafing to victory while popping domes at the SVA-88 was extremely satisfying. One thing I'm not entirely sure of though is the Decimator. It's fun to use and all, but the lower overall carried ammunition just puts a big frown on my face while trying to engage tanks, since the Decimator only tickles tanks if you happen to hit it from the front or sides. So there you have it, you sexy beast, the Guile BMF All Aim No Brains Loadout by Jalamazzz, featuring the SVA-88 Light Machine Gun for the Vanu Sovereignty Heavy Assault class. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a mega super awesome big ass thumbs up. If you've got an idea for a challenge for me to run with the next week's episode, go ahead and post it in the comment section below. Make sure to include any weapons, attachments, abilities, factions, class, or whatever else you can imagine, and see just how well I do with it in next week's fan picked Friday challenge. Once again, I hope you're all having a fantastic start to your weekend. Be sure to check out the video description below in order to see all of the in-depth statistics of the SVA-88, as well as clicking the links to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, as well as considering becoming a certified badass through my Patreon campaign. If you'd like to see more videos like these, then go ahead and click that super delicious subscribe button. It's rather free indeed.